Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. As our listeners know, today we're doing something a bit different. We are bypassing the theory and bringing you directly into a therapy space. I'm Aris, joined as always by my co-host, Elena. Quick reminder, this is a simulated coaching session. All names have been changed, and situations described are fictitious. Any resemblance to a real person or situation is purely coincidental.
We are so incredibly grateful to have Jordan sitting across from us today. This is the very beginning of our session. Jordan has bravely agreed to share their real, raw.
Hi. Wow. Okay, I just really want to apologize right off the bat. I know I'm technically on time, but I feel so incredibly late. The parking structure across the street was completely barricaded off for some kind of construction, and I had to circle the block maybe 4, maybe 5 times. And my GPS kept rerouting me into this dead-end alleyway by the dumpsters. And I absolutely hate keeping people waiting. It's so unprofessional. I'm so sorry.
That sounds incredibly stressful, Jordan. We are just so glad you're sitting here with us now. Take a breath. There is absolutely no rush. We have all the time we need today.
I mean, it's fine. I'm fine. It's just, I shouldn't be taking up our first few minutes together complaining about traffic and parking when you guys are the experts, and I'm just, rambling. I dropped my bag downstairs at the security desk, too. All my intake papers spilled out onto the floor, and the guard just stared at me like I was insane, and I could feel my face burning. I'm sorry. I'm already messing up the format of the show. I just feel like I'm taking up too much space. I feel like I'm already failing at being a good podcast guest. I'm sorry.
Look right at me. You aren't messing anything up. There is no perfect format here.
Yeah, but
You are exactly where you need to be. But I want to just pause the clock for a second. We aren't going to fix the traffic, and we certainly aren't going to worry about the podcast format. I just want to sit right here with what just happened in that lobby.
It was just stupid. I'm overreacting. I always do this. I always get so overwhelmed by little logistical things. My friends can just park their cars and walk into a building without having a complete internal meltdown. My brain is just, I don't know, it's broken.
Let's actually test that hypothesis, Jordan. You're telling us a story that your brain is broken, but I want to pause the story and look at the raw data. Forget the security guard for a second. Forget the papers on the floor. What is your body actually feeling right now as you sit in this chair?
What do you mean? I feel crazy. I feel stressed.
Crazy is an evaluation. It's a judgment your mind is making. I'm looking for physical data. What is happening inside your chest right now?
Well, my heart is beating really, really fast. Like it's pounding in my ears. It's loud.
Good. Keep going. What else? Scan downward.
It's like my chest is locked up tight. I can't really seem to get a full breath in. It's like someone pulled a leather belt really, really tight around my ribs. And my hands are super sweaty. My stomach is completely in knots. Honestly, it feels like I need to jump up and run out of this room.
Okay. I want you to hear this very clearly, Jordan. What you're experiencing right now is not a broken brain. It is not a malfunction or a sign of weakness. Your brain is actually executing a highly sophisticated, perfectly functioning biological process.
It doesn't feel perfectly functioning. It feels like I'm dying over a parking spot.
I know it does. But your brain's primary job isn't to think rational thoughts. Its fundamental job is to run a budget for your body, an energy budget. When you hit that construction barricade and the GPS failed and the guards stared at you, your brain took in all that chaotic sensory data and made a rapid prediction. It predicted, Jordan is in a highly unpredictable, potentially threatening social environment. We need a massive amount of physical energy right now to deal with this.
Okay.
So it dumped adrenaline into your bloodstream. It increased your heart rate to pump oxygen to your muscles. It tightened your chest to prepare your core to sprint. Your brain is simply budgeting resources for a major energy expenditure. It prepared you to fight or flee the danger. The pounding heart, the sweating hands, the tight chest, that is just physical data. It is proof that your nervous system is fiercely trying to protect you. It is not proof that you are inadequate.
Then why does it feel so heavy? If it's just biology, if it's just energy budgeting, Why do I feel like I am a fundamentally bad person for dropping my bag? Why do I feel so deeply embarrassed just for existing in that lobby?
Because the physical arousal happens first, Jordan. The heart pounding, the sweat, that happens instantly. And then your mind scrambles to find a story to explain why your heart is pounding so fast. And because of the pressure you put on yourself, the story your mind grabbed onto was shame.
Shame.
Yes. Shame is a heavy, incredibly isolating shield. It attacks our core identity. Guilt says, I made a mistake. I dropped a bag. But shame says, I am the mistake. I am clumsy, I am inadequate, and everyone in this building knows it. When you walked in here, you instantly apologized for the physical space you were taking up. You assumed Aris and I were judging you for being flustered.
I always feel like I'm on trial. Everywhere I go, like everyone is holding a clipboard, grading how I walk, how I talk, how I breathe. I feel like a fraud. I feel like I don't belong on a microphone. I shouldn't be here.
Thank you for naming that, Jordan. That takes immense courage to say out loud, I am a fraud. That is the exact voice of shame. And shame requires secrecy and silence to survive. It wants you to stay quiet and small. By speaking it out loud to us right now, you are dragging it into the light where it can't survive.
It just feels so stupid. I'm an adult. I should be able to—
Stop. Look at me. We are not holding clipboards. We are right here with you. I have felt that exact same panic. I know exactly what it is like to drop something in a public space, to feel your face get hot, and to feel like the whole world is pointing and laughing at your inadequacy. You are not alone in this room, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are just overwhelmed.
Did you feel that breath, Jordan?
Yeah, my ribs, they let go a little bit.
That is the sound of your nervous system realizing the prediction was wrong. The brain prepared for a tiger in the lobby, but it's just Aris and Elena in a safe, soundproof room. The prediction error is resolving. The adrenaline is finally bleeding off.
It's crazy. The nausea is actually fading. I feel like I just ran a marathon, but I think my heart rate is going down. I feel like I can hear you both more clearly now. I'm not so trapped in my own head.
That's the feeling of safety. You named the shame. You allowed the physical data to just be data, without turning it into a character flaw. You did beautiful, incredibly difficult work just now in these first few minutes.
We had to clear the physiological static before we could look at the real signal. We can't restructure the mind while the body is preparing for a sprint. Now that your body budget is stabilizing, and you are fully here with us in the room, let's talk about the actual presentation at work, the one you emailed us about.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the presentation.
Where does your mind go, Jordan? The exact second Aris mentions it.
It goes straight to tomorrow morning, to the Q3 review. It's just, you have to understand it's a massive disaster waiting to happen. I mean, my boss, Mark, he's incredibly demanding. He expects absolute perfection, no margins for error, no excuses, and my coworker Dave completely dropped the ball on the data analytics for the slide deck. He sent me his half of the work at like 11:30 last night. 11:30! And the numbers don't even match the quarterly projections we discussed on Tuesday. And because I'm the project lead, Mark is going to look at me in front of the entire executive board, and he's going to ask why the regional data is completely skewed. And what am I supposed to say? What do I actually say to him? Oh, Dave messed up? Mark hates excuses. He despises them. He just wants results. I spent until 4 a.m. trying to fix the spreadsheets, trying to reverse engineer Dave's formulas, but I'm not a data guy. I don't know how to run those pivot tables properly. I'm going to stand up there tomorrow in front of 50 people, the lights on me, and I'm going to completely freeze. I know it. I can already feel it happening right now.
Where do you feel it right now?
Just my stomach. It's cramping. And my hands are freezing. They're getting that weird, tingly feeling again, like they're falling asleep. I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired. If I don't have this perfect tomorrow, I'm done. He will literally dismantle my entire career in 2 minutes.
Jordan, listen to your own voice for a second. Notice how hard your heart is working right now.
Well, yeah, because I might get fired tomorrow.
A threat to your job is a real social reality. I'm not denying that. But notice what your physical body is doing in this exact moment. Your stomach is cramping. Your hands are cold because the blood is rushing out of your extremities and into your major muscle groups. Your body isn't preparing to answer a difficult question about a spreadsheet.
I mean, I guess.
Your nervous system is budgeting your physical energy as if a predator just walked into this office. You are bleeding out metabolic energy right now, sitting in that chair. Your body is preparing for a massive physical escape, a sprint for your life that you cannot actually take. You can't run out of the boardroom tomorrow. So you sit there, flooded with adrenaline, trying to solve a corporate math problem while your body is fundamentally convinced it's fighting for its survival. That is why you are so exhausted. It does feel like survival. It really does.
Dave and Mark are the trigger. Absolutely. We can't control Dave's competence, and we can't control Mark's temper. But the suffering you are experiencing right now, that deep, exhaustive panic, that's internal. Jordan, a minute ago you said, if I don't have this perfect, I'm done.
Yeah, because I will be. Mark fires people for less.
There's a big difference psychologically between believing I made a mistake on a spreadsheet and believing I am a mistake. One of those beliefs allows you to apologize, fix the data, and move on with your day. The other tells you that you are fundamentally broken, that you don't belong in that room at all.
I'm not cut out for this. They promoted me 6 months ago, and every single day since then I've felt like I'm drowning. I look around at the other project leads, and they all know what they're doing. They understand the analytics. Then I'm just faking it. I'm making it up as I go. Tomorrow is the day the curtain falls. Mark is going to look at that screen, and he's going to see the broken formulas, and then he's going to look at me, and everyone in that room is going to finally see what a total fraud I am.
I am a fraud. That is such a heavy, punishing story to carry completely alone at 4 a.m.
It is. It really is. It's killing me.
Jordan, right now, your brain is absolutely convinced that this presentation tomorrow equals your complete destruction. It is running a high-definition simulation of tomorrow morning, and it is predicting a catastrophe. It's predicting that you will be exposed and exiled from the group.
Because I will be.
Or because that is the only story your brain currently knows how to tell. You are treating this feeling of being an imposter as an objective fact, as a guarantee of the future. But what if it's just a faulty prediction? What if your nervous system is reacting to Mark based on very old, outdated data?
I don't know how to believe anything else. It feels too real.
You don't have to know how yet. You've done the hardest part today, which is just saying the word fraud out loud in this room. You brought it out of the dark. So, for the rest of our time today, we aren't going to talk about Dave. We aren't going to talk about pivot tables. We are going to put this imposter story on trial. We are going to look at the actual evidence your brain is using to terrify you. Can we agree to that?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
So Jordan, we've agreed on the agenda. We are going to look at the raw data today. We're going to examine this incredibly rigid story your brain is running. This idea that making a single mistake in a presentation in front of Mark is somehow the absolute biological equivalent of being humiliated.
Exactly. We want to test the actual evidence of this core belief that you are an imposter. So, let's go back to that moment. You were prepping the slide deck last night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first thought was just logistics. You know, like, how am I going to fix this before the 9 a.m. meeting? But
underneath the logistics, what was the story about you?
Well, honestly, it's really just a symptom of late-stage capitalism, isn't it?
Late-stage capitalism?
Right, like, modern corporate culture is entirely built on toxic productivity. We're all just cogs in this massive, broken machine. Mark's demands, my boss's demands, they aren't even about me personally. They are just the byproduct of a hierarchical structure that intentionally keeps middle management in a state of chronic anxiety just to, maximize output for the shareholders. So, really, my reaction at 4 a.m. is just a completely normal sociological response to an inherently pathological system. Everyone in corporate America is faking it, right? It's systemic.
I notice you just zoomed way, way out, Jordan.
No, I'm just putting it in context. I think it's important to understand the macro-level socioeconomic factors that really drive...
Jordan.
Yeah?
Look at me for a second.
Okay.
We were just standing right at the edge of your personal feeling of inadequacy, and suddenly we are having an abstract philosophical debate about corporate sociology.
I mean, I took a lot of sociology classes in college. I'm just trying to look at the big picture here.
And you are highly intelligent. Your intellect is a profound strength. But right now, I wonder if it's acting as a bodyguard.
A bodyguard? Against what?
Against vulnerability. When the emotion gets too hot, when the shame gets too close, it is incredibly human to want to disconnect, to move away. You retreat up into your intellect, into the clouds, to avoid feeling the raw, messy reality of not feeling good enough down here on the ground. It keeps the conversation safely in your head, rather than in your heart.
And Jordan, if we look at it from a biological standpoint, what your brain just did was absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant? How is it brilliant? I'm just avoiding the question. I know I'm avoiding it.
Because your brain's primary job is to manage your energy, to keep you safe. Right now, to actually sit in this chair and feel the emotional truth that you feel like a terrified kid in front of your boss, that would cost you a massive amount of internal energy. It is exhausting to feel that level of threat. Your nervous system sensed that heavy emotion approaching, and it desperately deployed a protector. It threw up a shield of sociology to conserve your energy.
Wait, so me quoting sociology is just my brain trying not to get tired?
Exactly. It's your nervous system trying to protect you from a perceived threat. You aren't being stubborn, Jordan. Your body's just trying to survive the moment.
Gosh, it's exhausting.
What is exhausting?
All of it. It's like my brain is constantly playing chess against itself, always trying to stay 3 moves ahead. I'm so tired.
Which is why we don't fight the protector in this room. We respect it. Your intellect has kept you safe in a lot of hostile environments in your life, but you don't need it right now. In this room, with Aris and me, you are safe to set that heavy shield down. Can we try? Can we gently step around the sociology and go back to what you were actually feeling in your physical body at 4 a.m. last night?
Take your time. Just notice what's happening in your chest right now as you think about it.
At 4 a.m., I was staring at the glow of the spreadsheets, and I just felt this crushing weight, like someone was literally sitting on my ribs. I couldn't get a full breath.
A crushing weight on your ribs. And what was the thought, the story, attached to that weight?
They're going to find out I'm stupid.
I am stupid. Thank you for your courage in saying that out loud, Jordan. That is a profoundly heavy story to carry.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the shoe fits, right?
I notice you are very quick to make a joke right when we touch the absolute core of the pain, Jordan.
I mean, you know the saying, if you don't laugh, you cry, right? It's just humor.
A moment ago, you moved away into philosophy. Now, it feels like you are using sarcasm to preemptively strike at the pain, to push it away before it can crush you. Shame loves self-deprecating humor, Jordan, because it acts as a preemptive attack to shut down vulnerability before anyone else can hurt you.
Let's check in on what's happening right this second. You just cracked a joke to lighten the mood. But what is your actual physical body doing right now?
My heart is racing. My palms are completely sweating. I feel like I want to crawl under this rug and disappear.
Exactly. The joke was an acoustic deflection, a shield. But your nervous system is still sounding the alarm. Your brain predicted that sitting in the silence of the thought, "I am stupid," would absolutely destroy you. So it launched a preemptive strike with a joke to control the room.
but it will destroy me. Aris, if I sit here and just admit that I don't know what I'm doing, then it becomes real. If I say it out loud without making a joke, then I really am a fraud.
Speaking the fear out loud doesn't make it true, Jordan. It just brings the monster out from under the bed so we can finally look at it in the daylight. Shame loses its power the second it is spoken and met with empathy.
You know what? You're right. You are both completely right. No, I see it. I do that all the time. I use humor. I use the sociology stuff. I'm deflecting. I just need to stop doing that. I get it now. Cognitive distortion identified, right? I'll just reframe the thought. I'll go in tomorrow, I'll ignore Mark's attitude, I will stand up straight, and I'll just be confident. I've got this. Done. Thank you guys. Seriously, this was a great session. We figured it out.
And there is the third shield.
What? No! I'm agreeing with you. I'm literally saying you're right. How is that a shield?
You are offering us rapid, superficial agreement to shut the topic down. You are people-pleasing us right now to end the discomfort.
Oh my God, I can't do anything right. I agree with you, and it's still a defense mechanism. I literally can't win in here.
Jordan, please hear me. It is not about doing it right or wrong. We are simply observing your survival systems in real time. Look at what just happened. The emotional intensity in this room rose. Your brain calculated a massive threat. So to conserve energy and escape the threat, you faked compliance. You rapidly agreed with us, the perceived authority figures in the room, to maintain connection and bleed off the tension. It is a brilliant, highly evolved survival mechanism.
You've probably used rapid compliance, people-pleasing your whole life to de-escalate angry authority figures, haven't you?
Yes. If my dad started yelling, if I tried to explain myself, it just made him louder. But if I just agreed that I was lazy, if I just looked at the floor and said, "You're right, I'll do better," he would stop yelling. The fight would end.
So rapid compliance was your only currency. It was the only way to buy peace. You had to sacrifice your own authentic voice just to survive his temper.
Yeah. It was the only thing that worked. It was the only way to make the room quiet again.
So your brain learned a highly efficient rule for survival. When a social threat arises, surrender immediately. Wave the white flag. It saves energy and prevents further injury. Your nervous system just applied that exact same rule to Elena and me. It predicted we were going to push you into a painful space, so it threw up the white flag to make a stop.
I feel so exposed. It's like you guys can see right through my skin. Every time I try to hide, you catch it.
We aren't trying to trap you, Jordan. We are just trying to introduce you to your own protectors. The philosopher, the joker, the yeser. They have worked overtime to keep you safe in a world that felt very, very dangerous. But look at the cost. Look at how exhausted you are from carrying all this heavy armor around every single day.
It is heavy. I'm so incredibly tired. I'm so tired of feeling like I have to outsmart everyone just to survive a Tuesday afternoon at the office.
That exhaustion you feel, that is real. It is the biological cost of constantly predicting threats that belong in your past, not your present.
So, what do I do? If I can't intellectualize it, and I can't joke about it, and I can't just agree with you to make it go away, what is actually left? I feel like I have no skin right now.
What is left is simply being here, just staying in the room with us, exactly as you are, without the armor.
Okay.
I want to ask you a question, and I want you to answer it without the philosopher and without the yeser. Just Jordan. Can we do that?
Okay, I can try. Ask me.
When you look at that presentation for tomorrow, and you think about Mark sitting at the head of the conference table, looking at you, what is the actual deepest fear? Not the corporate structure, not the spreadsheets. What is the fear in your heart?
The fear is that I am completely empty, that I have absolutely nothing of value to offer, and that when Mark looks at me, he will see exactly what my dad saw. Just a disappointment.
Thank you. That is the core. That is the true fear.
And I want you to notice your body right this second, Jordan. You drop the shield. You face the absolute worst fear you have. Did the sky fall?
No, actually, my chest feels a little lighter. I'm still terrified of tomorrow, but I don't feel like I have to run out of the room anymore.
Because you are no longer burning all your energy trying to hold up a massive defense system. You let the truth exist, and your body is finally stepping down from high alert.
You survived the vulnerability, and now that the protectors have stepped aside, we can actually start the real work. We can take that deeply painful thought, I have nothing of value to offer, and we can put it on trial. Are you ready to look at the actual evidence of your worth, Jordan?
Yeah, I think I am. Let's look at the evidence.
You survived the vulnerability, Jordan.
Yeah, barely.
You dropped the armor, and you said the absolute hardest thing out loud, that you fear you have nothing of value to offer here, that Mark is going to see you tomorrow and realize you are a total disappointment.
Because he is. I mean, he will. He's going to see it.
We are right here with you in that space. We aren't rushing past it. We are just sitting with it.
It's so heavy, right here. I mean, I really try to fight it. I try to do the positive thinking, the preparation, but I am a deeply anxious person. I don't belong in this leadership role. I'm a failure waiting to happen. It's just a matter of time before they all figure it out.
Okay, let's stop right there.
Did I say something wrong?
No, not wrong. But I want to pause and look very, very closely at the exact words you just used. You didn't say, I am experiencing a moment of anxiety. You said, I am a deeply anxious person. And then you said, I am a failure.
Yeah, because I am. Look at me, Elena. I'm literally shaking in a chair over a slide deck.
You are experiencing a physical tremor. That is a biological event happening in your body. But you are taking that temporary event and fusing it directly to your permanent identity.
But it's in my head. It's who I am. Like, I can't just separate myself from it. It's my personality.
I want us to practice separating it right now. Because the problem is the problem, Jordan. You are not the problem.
I don't know how to do that. It doesn't feel separate.
We do it by giving it a name. Let's objectify it. I don't want you to say I am a failure anymore. Let's treat this imposter feeling as an external adversary, a visitor that walks into the room. It's a toxic expectation handed to you by society, by your father's impossible standards, by the pressure cooker of your workplace. It is not you.
A visitor.
Exactly. So, let me ask you, when the imposter pulls up a chair next to you at your desk at 4 a.m., what lies does it whisper in your ear to convince you that you don't belong?
It tells me...
Let it speak.
It whispers that Dave's spreadsheet error is actually my fault.
Because?
Because I'm not a real leader. If I was a real project lead, Dave wouldn't have messed up the pivot tables in the first place. I would have caught it. It tells me that Mark is going to look at the data tomorrow and expose me in front of the whole board. It tells me that I fooled everyone into promoting me, but the gig is finally up.
The gig is up. Notice how different that feels to say, Jordan, the imposter is whispering to you. It is a voice in the room, but you are not the voice.
It feels pretty real, Aris. It feels like the truth.
It feels incredibly real. But let's look at the mechanics of what is actually happening in your physical body right now. Where exactly do you feel the imposter?
I mean, my chest is getting tight again, like a steel band around my ribs, and my stomach is doing flips, nauseous.
Okay, the tight chest is real. The stomach flips are real. Those are raw, physical sensations. Your brain is aggressively managing your body's energy budget right now. It is pumping cortisol and adrenaline into your bloodstream to prepare you to fight or run away.
Right? Because I'm failing. Because tomorrow is going to be a disaster.
No, not because you are failing, because your brain is making a prediction.
A prediction?
Your brain is a prediction machine, Jordan. It is constantly trying to guess what you will need energy for next before it even happens. It receives a piece of sensory data, in this case, a late email from Dave saying the spreadsheet is broken. Your brain searches its historical database to figure out what a mistake means. It goes all the way back to your childhood, to sitting at your father's dining room table, where any mistake meant you were going to be emotionally obliterated.
Oh God.
And based on that old painful data, your brain predicts massive social threat imminent. We are about to be attacked. So it revs up your heart rate. It tightens your chest. It prepares you to survive an attack. That is the physical data. But the thought, I am a failure?
That's what my brain is calling it? To make sense of the tight chest?
Exactly. That is just the psychological label your brain slapped onto a stomachache to try and make meaning out of the chaos. You aren't making it up consciously. It's an automatic reflex. But it is just a faulty blueprint. It is an old prediction. It is not a reflection of your actual competence. Taking a quick break from the show to talk about something we all deal with, but rarely train for, our mental resilience. Whether you're managing a team, running a business, or just trying to navigate the heavy demands of everyday life, burnout and stress are very real. But what if you could proactively build your mental strength, just like you train your body? That's exactly what Architects of Resilience helps you do. Their mental health training programs are designed to give you practical, evidence-based tools to handle adversity, manage your stress, and actually thrive under pressure. It's not just about coping. It's about giving yourself a solid foundation so you can show up as your best self. Stop just surviving the day-to-day. Head over to architectsofresilience.com to explore their training programs and start building a stronger, healthier mind today. Again, that's architectsofresilience.com. All right, let's get back to the episode.
The imposter thrives on that exact shame, Jordan. Shame desperately wants you to believe, I am bad. Because if you believe you are bad, you won't take any risks. You'll stay small. That's how it keeps you frozen.
Okay, I think I hear what you're saying. The imposter is the problem. I am just the person sitting at the desk having a panic attack about Dave's spreadsheet.
Precisely.
But what if the imposter is right? What if I actually am incompetent?
That is the perfect question. Let's test it.
Test it?
You are a senior project lead. You analyze complex data sets for a living. So let's put this externalized entity, this imposter, on the witness stand. I want you to look at the objective, empirical evidence. What verifiable facts does the imposter use to prove you are completely unqualified for your job?
Objective facts? Well, the fact is, the data analytics on the slide deck for tomorrow are wrong. Dave messed up the pivot tables. That's a fact.
Okay. Fact 1. Dave made a formatting error on a spreadsheet. Let me ask you directly. Does that objective fact prove that Jordan is a fraud who does not belong in corporate leadership?
No, but it proves I can't control my team. And Mark hates excuses. Mark doesn't care whose fault it is. If I stand up there tomorrow and the numbers are wrong, the imposter says Mark will humiliate me.
Let's look at the difference between guilt and shame here, Jordan.
I don't feel guilty, Elena. I feel terrified.
Bear with me. Guilt says, there is a mistake on the spreadsheet and we need to fix it. Guilt is adaptive. It focuses entirely on the behavior. Shame, the voice of the imposter, says, because there is a mistake on the spreadsheet, I am fundamentally irreparably broken and unworthy. Do you see how the imposter hijacked a very simple, very common logistical problem with a coworker and turned it into a complete assassination of your character?
Yeah, I do. Like, if my colleague Sarah had this exact same problem with Dave, I wouldn't sit there and think she was a total fraud. I'd just think Dave was being a pain to manage this week.
Yes. You just broke the fusion. The imposter applies a completely different, highly toxic set of rules to you than you would ever apply to Sarah or to anyone else on your team.
It really does. It's a massive double standard.
Now let's keep pressing the witness. Let's look at the rest of the data. The imposter claims you are a complete failure. I want you to give me 3 objective, verifiable facts from the last 6 months that directly contradict the imposter's claim.
I mean, I don't know. My brain is blank.
Look past the panic. Look at the data, Jordan. What have you actually done?
Well, I brought the Q2 initiative in 3 weeks ahead of schedule.
Good. Fact 1. Q2 delivered early. What else?
The VP of Operations specifically emailed me last month to say my market analysis was the clearest she'd seen all year. And they literally promoted me over 2 other senior people because of my track record on client retention.
Listen to that data. Listen to it. The VP specifically emailed me. I was promoted over senior colleagues. How does the imposter explain those facts away?
It usually just ignores them entirely. Or it tells me that I just got lucky that day, or that HR was desperate to fill the seat so they just threw me in.
Which is a classic cognitive distortion. It is minimizing the evidence. The imposter hyper-focuses on one late email from Dave, and it completely deletes a 6-month history of verified objective excellence. Your brain is heavily weighting a prediction error based on a childhood fear of your father, and it is entirely ignoring the massive amount of adult data proving your extreme competence.
It's literally blinding me. Like, I couldn't even remember that VP's email until you forced me to dig for it. The imposter just takes up the whole windshield.
Because the imposter is incredibly loud, Jordan, and it is aggressive. It uses your body's physical arousal, that tight chest and the nausea, as a megaphone to convince you it's telling the absolute truth. But those sensations are just data. They are not directives. They are just your body mobilizing energy. They are not proof of your inadequacy.
But tomorrow, Elena, tomorrow I still have to face Mark. And Mark is a bully. He will ask about the spreadsheet. Even if I know I'm not a fraud right now in this room, the physical panic is still going to be there tomorrow morning, right? Like, my heart is going to race. My hands are going to sweat. How do I stop the imposter from taking over the microphone when I'm standing at that podium?
You don't try to banish the physical sensations. If you fight the tight chest tomorrow, you just spend more metabolic energy. You increase the load on your system.
So I just let it happen? I just let myself panic in front of the board?
You recategorize the physical data in real time. Right now, your brain predicts racing heart equals I am failing. Tomorrow, when your heart starts to pound at that podium, you are going to tell yourself something different. You are going to say, my heart is pounding because my brain is pumping glucose to my muscles, so I have the energy to deliver this difficult presentation. You are going to reframe the anxiety as readiness.
And when the imposter whispers, Mark is going to destroy you, you are going to use an externalizing statement. You are going to say to yourself silently, the imposter is visiting right now, and it is trying to scare me, but I have the data.
The imposter is visiting, but I have the data.
Exactly. And Jordan, remember the absolute distinction between your worth and your work. Mark might be angry about the spreadsheet tomorrow. That is a logistical, operational issue. It is not an indictment of your soul. You are allowed to make a formatting error. You are allowed to be a human being managing a difficult, slow coworker. Your right to belong in that boardroom is not conditional on absolute, flawless perfection.
My dad, he really made me feel like it was. Like if it wasn't an A+, I was invisible. Or worse, I was a burden.
And your brain learned a very, very powerful prediction rule at that dining room table. Perfection equals survival. But Jordan, look around the studio right now. Look at your current context. You are not a terrified kid at the dining room table anymore. You are a highly competent, promoted project lead. That old prediction? It's obsolete.
It is obsolete. Wow, I actually feel... My hands are finally warm again. The band around my chest is loosening.
That is your body stabilizing. You challenged the distortion, you evaluated the externalized entity, and your brain realized the immediate threat to your survival is gone.
The imposter is visiting, but I have the data. I'm going to write that on a sticky note. Put it right on the edge of my laptop during the meeting tomorrow.
That is a brilliant coping mechanism. You are literally bringing that resilience into the physical room with you.
I'm not the problem. Dave's spreadsheet is the problem. And honestly, I can fix a pivot table. I've done it 100 times before.
Precisely, you have the skills to handle the logistics, and now you have the flexibility to handle the imposter. You've done exceptional work today, Jordan. We will see how the data holds up tomorrow. Jordan, let's pause right there. Let's look at what is actually happening in the room right now. You are doing a phenomenal job of tracking the cognitive narrative. The logic is flawless. But I want to shift the lens.
I mean, I appreciate that, but if you really look at the corporate hierarchy, my reaction to Dave's spreadsheet error isn't even about the data itself. It's a classic manifestation of systemic workplace anxiety. Right? I'm analyzing Mark's leadership style and it's textbook authoritarian, which naturally, Jordan, naturally triggers a subordinate's imposter syndrome. So, intellectually, I know that my fear of the Q3 review tomorrow is just a byproduct of this toxic productivity culture we're all swimming in. Like, I get it. The problem is external. It's just a top-down dynamic that enforces compliance through fear. And if I can just map out the exact power dynamic—
Jordan, pause the analysis of the board meeting.
But, I mean, I'm just trying to give you the full context of why the imposter thing happens. If we don't understand the dynamics of how Mark operates, how can we fix it?
Jordan, take a breath.
I need to solve this before tomorrow morning.
We hear the logic. You have a brilliant, highly analytical mind. You've done the research on your own anxiety. But right now, your intellect is acting as a very thick, very heavy shield.
I'm not trying to shield anything. I'm trying to figure it out. If I can just understand the exact psychological mechanism of why Mark triggers me, then I can outthink it. Isn't understanding the why the whole point of therapy?
You cannot outthink biology with sociology, Jordan.
What does that mean?
It means that while you sit here, eloquently explaining the sociological dynamics of corporate America, your body is doing something entirely different. I want you to drop your attention downward, out of your head into your chest.
My chest is fine. I'm just explaining the—
Close your eyes.
Jordan. Okay.
Keep them closed. Stop analyzing the company. Just observe the raw data of your physical self. What is happening physically right this second?
If I actually stop talking, it feels awful.
Stay with it. Don't judge it. Just describe the data to us. Where is the awful?
It's my throat. It's completely tight. Like I swallowed a golf ball and it's just stuck there. I can't swallow around it.
A golf ball in the throat. Okay, what else?
And my heart, I didn't even notice it while I was talking, but my heart is racing. It's going so fast. It's like a hummingbird trapped inside my ribcage, and my hands are freezing. They are actually like ice.
Good. That is incredibly precise data. Now stay with the eyes closed. What is the story your mind instantly attaches to that hummingbird and that golf ball? What does the physical sensation mean to you?
That I'm failing. That I am going to walk into that Q3 review tomorrow and completely fall apart in front of Mark and Dave. The physical feeling, it means the imposter is right. I don't belong there. I am in actual danger.
Stop right there. That is the exact moment the wires get crossed. You are feeling a rapid heartbeat, shallow breathing, and cold hands, and your brain is instantly predicting, I am failing at my job.
Because I am. It feels like I'm dying.
It feels terrible, yes. But let's look at the biological reality. Your brain's primary job isn't to think about spreadsheets. Its primary job is to run a budget for your body. It continually anticipates the energy you're going to need, and it prepares your body to meet those needs before they even happen.
Wait, what?
Tomorrow is the Q3 review. Your brain predicts that standing in front of Mark is going to require a massive amount of metabolic energy. So right now it is dumping glucose and cortisol into your bloodstream to prepare you for a marathon. Your heart is racing to pump that fuel to your muscles. Your hands are cold because blood is rushing away from your extremities and into your core. Your body is mobilizing energy to meet a massive demand, nothing more.
It's mobilizing energy, but it feels like panic.
That is the trap. We are taught that feeling physically uncomfortable means something is fundamentally wrong with our lives. But right now, Your racing heart isn't a sign of failure. It is your nervous system aggressively preparing you for action. You aren't panicking. You are just heavily caffeinated by your own biology.
But then why does it feel so heavy? If it's just fuel, why do I feel like I'm fundamentally broken? Why does it feel exactly like shame?
Because Jordan, your brain is a historian. It is desperately searching its database to make sense of this massive physical arousal. It feels the racing heart and says, when have we felt this before? And what does your database hold?
My dad.
Yes.
Every time I brought home a report card, standing in the kitchen while he went line by line, the way my throat would close up.
Exactly. Your brain remembers those moments of severe criticism. It remembers the toxic environment with your old boss. So when your body floods with energy today to prepare for Mark's meeting, your brain pulls the old file. It miscategorizes the physical sensation as shame. And shame tells us that we are flawed and unworthy of being in that boardroom.
It really does feel like that. It feels like the tight throat is the physical proof that I am a fraud.
It is not proof. The emotion of imposter syndrome isn't a reflex happening to you. Your brain is taking raw physical data, the racing heart, the tight throat, and combining it with your father's criticism to predict a social threat. You are literally reading the dashboard wrong.
The dashboard?
Yes.
So the check engine light comes on, and I just assume the car is going to explode, when really I just need to step on the gas?
That is a beautiful metaphor, Jordan. By forcing yourself to stay in your body right now and not retreating into a sociological debate, you have done something incredibly brave. You stripped the shame of its favorite weapon.
Secrecy.
Secrecy. Shame requires you to believe that this hummingbird in your chest is a dirty secret that proves you are inadequate. But the hummingbird is just fuel.
I always thought that if I let myself really feel it, it would swallow me whole. That's why I analyze it. If I can turn it into a theory about corporate America, I don't have to feel the golf ball.
Let's test the dashboard right now. Think about the Q3 review tomorrow. Think about Mark sitting at the head of the conference table, looking at your spreadsheet. Notice what happens in your body.
Okay. The tightness in my throat just flared up again, and my stomach just did a massive flip.
And what is the old script trying to tell you that stomach flip means?
The old script is screaming that Mark is going to destroy me, because I don't belong there.
And what is the actual biological data?
The data is, my stomach is flipping because my brain is predicting I need to be alert. It's pumping glucose, so I have the focus to answer his questions. It's my body preparing for a challenge. It's not a verdict.
That is it. You are recategorizing the sensation in real time. You are moving from the paralyzing grip of shame into a state of physiological readiness.
God, it's exhausting, but it's better than feeling crazy. Like, I don't feel like I have to hide how nervous I am anymore. I'm just mobilized.
Which brings us to the final step of resilience. You know what it is? Reaching out. Because shame cannot survive being spoken to someone who understands. Who can you share this with? Outside of this room.
Maybe Sarah. She's doing a section of the presentation tomorrow too. I know she's stressed.
What would happen if you texted Sarah right now and just said, "My body is mobilizing so much energy for tomorrow that I feel like I swallowed a golf ball"?
She would immediately text back, "Me too, let's go get a decaf."
And in that single exchange, you regulate your body budget through connection. Human nervous systems regulate each other. By externalizing the feeling, you stop burning metabolic energy hiding a perceived threat and you invest it in relational safety.
I feel grounded. The golf ball is smaller, but Mark is still going to be at the head of that table tomorrow, and the spreadsheet is still flawed.
He is. The fire is still there, Jordan. But today you learned how to read the dashboard. You don't have to put out the fire right now. You just have to navigate through it. Let's see how the fuel holds up tomorrow.
Let's stay right here, Jordan. You just noticed that the golf ball in your throat, the tension, it's actually your body mobilizing. It's just a physical sensation. But I can see your eyes darting around the room right now.
Yeah.
I can see your breathing shifting, getting shallower. Your brain is desperately trying to pull you back up into your intellect, away from the physical data.
Well, yeah, I mean, because sitting here just feeling my throat tighten up, that doesn't actually solve the problem for tomorrow. Right? Like, this whole somatic awareness thing is great in a vacuum, but in the real world, the corporate hierarchy doesn't care about my nervous system. Mark doesn't care about my breathing exercises.
You are zooming out again.
I'm just trying to be realistic, Elena. People expect perfection from middle management. It's just how the system is designed. It's designed to keep you anxious so you produce more. It's basic late-stage capitalism. If I don't maintain complete control over this presentation, if I don't go home tonight and fix Dave's massive spreadsheet errors, the whole department looks incompetent. I have to fix it. There's no other option.
Notice what you are doing right this second.
I'm explaining the situation to you.
You are building a sociological theory. You're talking about capitalism, corporate structures, systemic hierarchies. Why? Because theorizing, analyzing the world from a high altitude, it is incredibly cheap for your brain to do. It costs you very little energy to debate capitalism. It is much, much easier for your body to build a theory right now than it is to just sit still and actually feel the raw, unedited fear in your chest.
Taking a quick break from the show to talk about something we all deal with but rarely train for, our mental resilience. Whether you're managing a team, running a business, or just trying to navigate the heavy demands of everyday life, burnout and stress are very real. But what if you could proactively build your mental strength, just like you train your body? That's exactly what Architects of Resilience helps you do. Their mental health training programs are designed to give you practical, evidence-based tools to handle adversity, manage your stress, and actually thrive under pressure. It's not just about coping. It's about giving yourself a solid foundation so you can show up as your best self. Stop just surviving the day-to-day. Head over to architectsofresilience.com to explore their training programs and start building a stronger, healthier mind today. Again, that's architectsofresilience.com. All right, let's get back to the episode.
But the theory is true. It's not a defense mechanism if it's actually happening. Mark will humiliate Dave if I don't step in. I have to be the buffer. I have to manage the data. I have to manage Mark's temper. I have to manage Dave's incompetence. I have to manage everything.
You are carrying the entire emotional and logistical weight of the department. You are managing everyone else's experience.
Yes, exactly. Because if I don't, it all falls apart. You know, like, people always expect the project lead to be the bulletproof vest. If I show even a fraction of a crack, if I let them see that I don't actually know how to run these pivot tables perfectly, they will devour me. So I work until 4 a.m. I fix the slides. I absorb the stress so they don't have to. I just absorb it all.
And while you are busy absorbing all of that stress for Dave and Mark, drop your attention back down into your chest, Jordan. Underneath the story about the bulletproof vest, what is the physical data? Right now.
My chest is tight again. Really tight.
Keep going. Don't analyze it. Just report it.
It feels like my ribs are vibrating. My stomach it's completely sick. I feel dizzy. Honestly, Aris, it feels like I am going to have a heart attack. It feels like my body is completely failing me.
Your body is not failing, Jordan. Your body is doing exactly what it was built to do. It is preparing you for a massive physical escape. It thinks there is a predator in the room. It is dumping fuel into your bloodstream, preparing your heart and your lungs to run for your life. Only, you can't run.
But I can't escape. I have to stand at the podium. I have to stand there tomorrow morning and pretend I'm completely fine while my heart beats out of my chest.
And that is the most isolating part of all of this, isn't it? The pretending.
Yeah.
The pretending. The absolute secrecy of it. It demands that you stand at that podium and hide the fact that you are struggling. It tells you that if anyone sees your humanity, if anyone sees your panic, you will be cast out.
They will cast me out. They promoted me because they thought I was a rock star. If they see me shaking, if they know I was up all night crying over a spreadsheet, they'll know they made a mistake.
Listen to your own words, Jordan. They will know they made a mistake. That is not a fact. That is a prediction. Your brain is running an old script. It is predicting that Mark will destroy you, so it is bracing for an impact that hasn't happened yet.
But what if it's not a prediction? What if it's just the truth? What if I really am just not built for this? What if I am completely out of my depth and everyone is about to find out?
Jordan, look at me.
Yeah?
You have spent years protecting everyone else from your fear of failure. Who is protecting you?
No one. No one is protecting me. I am absolutely terrified they will realize I am a fraud.
There it is. There is the truth.
I am so scared. I am so terrified every single day. I walk into that building and I just wait for the tap on the shoulder. I wait for someone to say, "We figured it out. We know you don't belong here."
Breathe, Jordan. Just let the body process this. Just breathe. You are dropping the shield. Your brain just put down a 20-ton weight it has been carrying for years. This crying, this shaking, this is just the energy discharging. You are safe in this room.
I'm so tired. I am so unbelievably tired of faking it. I feel like I'm drowning, and I'm spending all my energy smiling so no one on the shore knows I can't touch the bottom.
That exhaustion, that is the physical toll of carrying the armor. The voice tells you, I am a fraud. I am unworthy. And to survive that awful belief, you have had to build this impenetrable shell of perfectionism. You've been doing the work of 3 people, covering for Dave, managing Mark, performing absolute invulnerability. It takes a massive amount of physical energy to keep that armor held up.
Because if I'm perfect, they can't hurt me. If I'm perfect, Mark can't humiliate me. My dad can't criticize me.
And yet, even when you are perfect, even when you bring a project in under budget, even when the VP praises your work, the exhaustion doesn't go away, does it? The fear is still there.
No, it never stops. It just moves the goalposts. The voice just says, well, you fooled them this time, but tomorrow is the day you fail.
Because perfectionism isn't a shield, Jordan. It's a cage. We lug it around thinking it will protect us from being judged. But all it really does is keep us from being seen.
But if they see me, if I stop protecting everyone and just let them see me, what if I'm not enough?
You just did it.
Did what?
You just said, I am absolutely terrified they will realize I am a fraud. You spoke the unspeakable thing out loud. You brought the monster out from under the bed and put it right here on the table between the 3 of us.
It feels... I feel totally exposed right now, like I have no skin.
And what happened when you exposed it? Did we reject you? Did we ask you to leave the room?
No, you're just sitting here with me.
Your brain just predicted that showing us your flaw would result in social death. But it didn't. It resulted in connection. Your brain is registering that mismatch right now. Notice your chest.
Wow, it feels empty. The tightness is just gone. I can actually take a full breath.
The fear cannot survive being spoken, Jordan. It cannot survive empathy.
I feel like I could sleep for a week, but I still have to go into that boardroom tomorrow. I still have to stand at the podium. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I have nothing left in the tank.
We aren't going to fix tomorrow right now. Your body needs to rest. You have done profound, difficult work today. You stayed in the fire.
Be gentle with yourself tonight. The armor's off. Let's just sit with that for a moment.
Okay. I can't believe how much that took out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me. I'm a mess. I'm a project lead, for God's sake. I manage multi-million-dollar accounts, and I'm sitting in a studio crying over a slide deck.
You didn't cry over a slide deck, Jordan.
Well, it feels like it. I shouldn't be falling apart like this. If Mark saw this, or Dave, they'd think I was completely unstable. They'd know I don't belong in that room. I look so weak right now.
Did you feel that? Just now?
Feel what?
That sudden urge to pull the drawbridge back up. A minute ago, you told us the armor was off. You took a full, deep breath. The panic was gone, and then, almost instantly, your shoulders crept right back up to your ears. Your voice tightened, and you started apologizing to us for being human.
I'm not. I don't want you guys to think I'm incapable. I don't want to look stupid on a podcast.
You don't look stupid. You look incredibly brave. What you are experiencing right this second, Jordan, is a vulnerability hangover.
A what?
A vulnerability hangover. It's the emotional whiplash that hits the exact second you let your guard down. You just did something profoundly difficult. You let us see the raw, unprotected fear underneath the yeser and the perfectionist. And the moment you did that, your brain sounded an alarm. It said, "Wait, we're exposed. Get the shield back up. Tell them we're fine. Tell them we're a tough project lead."
God. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. I just felt this massive wave of embarrassment. Like I made a mistake letting you see that. Like I did something wrong. Exactly. Because shame hates being seen. It survives by convincing you that your emotional release is proof that you're broken or inadequate. But it's a lie. Making a mistake on a pivot table or struggling with a presentation, that's a behavior. It means you're under pressure. It doesn't mean Jordan is fundamentally unworthy of belonging in that room. You're feeling exposed, not broken. A vulnerability hangover. Exposed.
And it's not just an emotional hangover, Jordan. It is deeply, intensely physical. Check in with your body right now. A few minutes ago, your chest was burning. Your heart was racing 100 miles an hour. Where is the heat now?
It's gone. The heat is gone.
And what has replaced it?
Emptiness? I don't know. Heaviness. My arms feel like they're made of lead. My eyelids are heavy. I honestly feel like I haven't slept in a year. Everything just aches.
Good. Let that heaviness be there. Don't try to sit up straight. Don't try to fix it. Just let the chair hold your weight.
It's so heavy. Why am I so tired? I haven't even done anything today except sit here and talk.
You have done an immense amount of work. For weeks, months maybe, your brain has been predicting that you are under constant mortal threat. It looked at the boardroom, it looked at Mark, and it ran an internal simulation of a predator. And because it predicted a threat, it budgeted a massive amount of energy to help you survive. It dumped adrenaline and cortisol into your bloodstream so you could fight or run.
But I couldn't run. I just had to sit at my desk and look at spreadsheets.
Exactly. You've been sitting at your desk, revving a high-performance engine in park. You've been burning through your body's metabolic budget to fight a predator that only existed in a future simulation.
I was budgeting for a disaster.
Yes. And a few minutes ago, right here in this room, you finally realized there was no predator. You fed your brain new data. You proved to it that you are safe, sitting here with me and Elena. Your brain recognized the error in its prediction, and it finally shut off the alarm.
And that heaviness you're feeling right now, that bone-deep exhaustion, that is the biological cost of the false alarm. Your nervous system is finally transitioning out of that red alert state and going into a parasympathetic recovery mode. Your body is demanding that you rest and replenish the budget you've been burning through.
It makes so much sense when you put it like that. It's just data. It's not because I'm broken. My body was just trying to protect me.
It was fighting so hard to keep you safe. You just don't need that specific protection anymore. You don't need to wear a 20-ton suit of armor to a Tuesday morning budget meeting.
No, I guess I don't.
Just stay with that heaviness for another moment. There is absolutely no rush.
I really do feel like I could sleep for a week.
Then sleep is exactly what you need to prioritize tonight. You need to be incredibly gentle with yourself. Hydrate. Eat a real, nourishing meal. Do not open your laptop to check Dave's math at midnight. Protect your resources.
Yeah, I know. I need to rest, but I still have to wake up tomorrow. I still have to put the suit on. I still have to walk into that boardroom at 10 a.m., plug in the laptop, and stand at the head of the table. Mark is going to be sitting right there. Dave is going to be looking at me.
And that feels overwhelming right now.
It feels impossible. I mean, I understand everything we just talked about. I understand the body budget. I understand the vulnerability hangover. And right now, sitting in this chair, I feel safe. But tomorrow, I'm not in this chair. I'm in the firing line, and I have absolutely nothing left in the tank. If my heart starts racing again tomorrow morning, how am I supposed to stop it?
Jordan, listen to my voice. We are not going to fix tomorrow right now.
But it's happening, ready or not.
I know it is. And we are going to build a bridge between the safety of this room and the reality of that boardroom before you leave today. We are going to make a plan, but right now, in this exact second, your only job is to let your body rest in that chair. The armor is off. Let's just sit in the quiet for a moment and honor the work you've done to take it off.
Okay, I'm just going to sit.
And that feels overwhelming right now. The armor is off. Let's just sit in the quiet for a moment and honor the work you've done to take it off. Jordan. Okay, I'm just going to sit.
Just notice the weight of the chair supporting your back. Notice the solid floor under your shoes. We have covered an immense amount of ground in the last 50 minutes, Jordan, and your nervous system has done some incredibly heavy lifting today. Before we start to look at the clock, let's just do a quick check-in. Just scan your body. Where are you at right this second?
I feel like I've been hit by a truck. Honestly, just physically hollowed out. My arms feel like lead. I don't even want to lift my hands off my knees right now.
Which makes perfect sense.
It does, because I feel like I should be buzzing or panicking, but I just want to sleep. But the weird thing is, pauses, searching inward for the physical sensation. That band, the tight metal band around my ribs that I told you about when I walked in, it's gone. It's completely gone. My chest just feels empty, but in a good way. Like I can actually pull a full breath in.
That heavy, hollowed-out feeling in your arms? That is your body finally dropping the bags it's been carrying all week. You spent the last hour unlearning a very old, very entrenched survival habit, and that requires a massive amount of energy. Your brain had to rewrite the script today, Jordan. It realized that the threat it was predicting, the judgment, the failure, wasn't actually in the room with us. And now, your body's just paying the metabolic bill for that work.
Exactly. You ran an emotional marathon today. You put down a 20-ton shield of perfectionism that you have been holding up since you were a kid to protect yourself.
Yeah, it was a heavy shield.
It was. And you did beautiful work recognizing it. But before we wrap up today and send you back out into the world, we need to build that bridge Aris promised. Because tomorrow morning, the sun is going to come up and Mark is still going to be your boss. The Q3 presentation is still happening.
Right? Yeah, tomorrow.
The external world hasn't changed, but your internal framework has. So let's practice it. Let's imagine tomorrow morning. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you get in the car. What is the very first physical warning sign that the imposter is trying to grab the microphone?
It's my throat. It starts right under my jaw. It feels like I swallowed a golf ball, and then my stomach drops, like I'm cresting a roller coaster, and I get nauseous.
Okay. Excellent awareness. So tomorrow, when the throat tightens and the stomach drops, in the past, what did you tell yourself those physical sensations meant?
That I was failing, that I was a total fraud and everybody in the boardroom was about to figure it out, that I was going to get fired.
And what do you know right now, sitting in this chair, that those sensations actually mean?
That it's just data, right? It's my brain, it's just guessing. It thinks I'm walking into a war zone because of my dad, because of the past stuff, so it's dumping a bunch of energy into my system so I can survive it. It's not a panic attack. It's a false alarm. It's my body budgeting for a threat that isn't actually real.
That is an exquisite summary, Jordan. That is exactly it. You are reality checking the story. You are treating the physical sensation as data, not a directive.
Right. The problem is the problem. I am not the problem.
Yes. Now, the final piece. Because the imposter thrives in the dark. It needs secrecy and silence to convince you that you are fundamentally broken. So what is the antidote to that isolation?
The homework.
The homework.
Texting Sarah.
Tell me what that text says.
Hey, I am so incredibly nauseous about this Q3 presentation that I feel like I'm going to throw up.
And by sending that message to a trusted colleague, you are doing what?
I'm taking the power out of it. I'm telling someone safe. I'm not keeping it a secret.
You are bringing it into the light. Empathy dissolves shame. You are choosing connection over isolation. Are you still willing to send that text tonight?
Yeah, I am. She won't judge me. I know she won't.
Good. You have built a tremendous vocabulary for this today, Jordan. You are the architect of your own internal model now. And remember, the goal tomorrow is not zero anxiety. We aren't aiming for a flat line. The goal is simply to recognize the data, label the imposter, and rely on the objective facts of your competence.
Guilt means Dave messed up the pivot tables, and I need to fix them. Shame means I am a terrible person, and I'm choosing to just fix the pivot tables.
Absolutely. I want to be mindful of our time as we are just about at the end of our hour today. We are going to have to pause here. I want you to really honor the profound vulnerability you brought into this room today. Take care of your body budget tonight. Eat a real dinner. Hydrate. Go to sleep.
Thank you. Seriously, both of you. I feel lighter. I feel like I can handle Mark in the boardroom tomorrow.
You absolutely can. Prioritize your rest tonight. We'll check in on how it went next week.
I will. I'm gonna go straight home. I just have to swing by the office really quick. Just for like 10 minutes. Just to log into the portal and fix the compliance report for Dave.
Wait, you're going back to the office tonight? Jordan, we just agreed you need to protect your energy and go home.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I have to. The report is due at midnight and Dave didn't sign off on his section and he isn't answering his phone and
Jordan.
I already forged his signature on the digital compliance form earlier today because I was so panicked about Mark pulling the logs and finding out it was late and screaming at me in front of the whole floor. I know it's a massive HR violation. It's literally fraud. I know. I could be fired for cause. I could lose everything. But I was just so terrified of Mark yelling at me that my brain I just did it. I signed Dave's name. I'm going back tonight to try and delete the file before the system locks. But if IT tracks the IP address, I'm completely dead. I actually committed fraud. I'm so sorry. I have to go fix this.
Jordan, stop. Look right at me.
I'm sorry. I couldn't say it earlier. I was so ashamed.
I hear you. I hear exactly how heavy that is. And it is incredibly important, which is exactly why we are going to make it the very first thing we unpack in our next session, rather than rushing through it in the last 60 seconds we have left today.
But what if they catch me tomorrow? What if Mark sees the timestamp? What if Dave finds out?
Notice your breathing right now. You're experiencing an acute spike in adrenaline because you just handed us a highly volatile secret. Your brain is flooding your system with panic, screaming that you are in immediate danger. But our time for today has ended, and we must hold this boundary to keep this room safe and structured for you.
And I want to tell you how proud I am of you. You just showed immense courage. You brought the ultimate secret out of the dark and into this room. We are not judging you, Jordan. Not even a little bit. We know that you acted out of sheer, overwhelming panic to survive a perceived threat.
You made a behavioral mistake while your system was completely overloaded. That is guilt, Jordan. I did a bad thing. It is not shame. It does not mean you are fundamentally broken.
I'm just so scared. I ruined everything.
I know you are scared, but we are closing the container for today. I want you to go home. Do not go back to the office tonight. The file is submitted. Whatever logistical consequences happen tomorrow, you are going to survive them. You are not that terrified child anymore. You are a capable adult who can handle the reality of a mistake without it destroying who you are.
We will open this exact topic at the very start of our next hour. For tonight, your only job is to go home, Text Sarah and breathe. You are safe.
Okay. Okay, you're right. I'll just go home. I'll see you next week.
See you next week, Jordan. We are right here with you.
And to our listeners, that concludes our live session for today. What you just witnessed in those final moments is known as a doorknob confession. The sudden, urgent disclosure of highly charged information just as the safety of the exit is guaranteed. It is a profound testament to the trust built in the room and a vital reminder that our healing is always a continuous, unfolding journey. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
That wraps up today's session. Navigating workplace anxiety and the complexities we face on the job is an ongoing journey, and we're so glad you joined us to listen in on today's breakthrough. Before we sign off, we want to send a huge thank you to the incredible team at Fellowship of Harmony. While the space we explore on this show is vital, everyday support is just as important. Fellowship of Harmony is a nonprofit whose mission is to bring peer coaching to the masses. Finding your footing and managing stress is so much easier when you have a peer in your corner who truly understands what you're going through. You can learn more, find resources, and support their mission by visiting fellowshipofharmony.org. Again, that's fellowshipofharmony.org. If you found value in today's episode, we would really appreciate it if you could leave a like or hit subscribe wherever you're listening. It goes a long way in helping us keep bringing these stories and resources to you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you in the next session.